Hi guys, welcome to Just Teaching. This is Lavanya. In this video, we are going to learn about the accessory ducts of the female reproductive system in detail. Let's start the video here. First, we will see what are the accessory ducts which is present in the female. So females now, they have three accessory ducts. One is oviduct, the second one is uterus, the third one is vagina. So here in this picture now, you can identify those accessory ducts. You can see the females have one pair of fallopian tube. I mean to say it is two fallopian tubes, which is also called as oviducts, and they have a single uterus and a vagina. These three together, it forms the accessory ducts of the female. Let me just study each one in a little detail more. Okay, first we will start with the oviduct, which is also called as fallopian tube. So this fallopian tube now we already studied, isn't it? We already know that. So females have a pair of fallopian tube. So each fallopian tube is said to be 10 to 12 centimeter long, and this fallopian tube now it extends from the ovary and it reaches till the uterus. Okay, so it starts from the ovary and then it goes on and it reaches the uterus. And coming to the parts of the fallopian tube, so the funnel shaped part of the fallopian tube is said to be the infundibulum. This infundibulum now it gives rise to a finger-like projection over here. You can identify this infundibulum. It gives rise to a finger-like projection that we call it as a fimbriae. And after infundibulum, you have a wider portion of the fallopian tube that we call it as an ampulla. After ampulla, a narrow part of the fallopian tube we call it as an isthmus, and this isthmus is considered to be the last part of the fallopian tube which leads to the uterus. So these are the parts of the oviducts or the fallopian tubes, which starts with a funnel-shaped structure called infundibulum, which later leads on to the finger-like projections called fimbriae, and the wider part of the fallopian tube we call it as an ampulla, and then the final part of the fallopian tube, which is little narrow in the nature, that we call it as an isthmus. So isthmus is the one which will be connected to the uterus. Okay, let me say what will be the function of fallopian tube. Fallopian tube function, no dear, it will collect the ovum from the ovary and it will just transport it to the uterus. This is the function of the fallopian tube. So ovary, it will release the ovum. That ovum now it will be collected by the fallopian tube and it will be transported into the uterus. Okay, this is the function of the oviduct or the fallopian tube. So hope you people understood fallopian tube. Next we will see now regarding uterus. Okay, the second accessory duct of the female, which is nothing but uterus, which is also called as womb. Coming to the structure of the uterus is said to be an inverted pear-shaped structure. It is, of course, it is a hollow structure. Okay, a hollow thick-walled structure which lies between the bladder and the rectum. So as you people know now, this is a hollow structure. Uterus is a hollow structure. Okay, it is the place where the fetus will be developed. Okay, it is the place where the embryo will be developing into the fetus, or the fetus will be growing inside the uterus. So of course it should be like a hollow structure. So as I just said, you peoples, we just go for a repetition. So uterus now it is said to be a hollow structure which lies between the bladder and the rectum. So what is the function of uterus is that in this place only the embryo will be developing into the fetus. Coming to the structure of uterus, so uterus structure is divided into two parts. One we call it as a body, the other one we call it as a fundus. Okay, the major portion of the uterus, okay, the major portion of the uterus we call it as a body. The portion which lies above the body, the superior portion which lies above the body, we call it as a fundus. Okay, next now this uterus now it will leads to what is the next below uterus in the female reproductive system mean? It is the vagina. Okay, uterus it opens into the vagina through a narrow cervix. Okay, the next part which leads to the uterus, from the uterus is vagina, and it is via the cervix. That is what. Okay, next we will see in little detail about the uterus structure. Okay, I have already said you people the uterus wall is very thick in nature, no dear. So this thick nature now it is due to the presence of multiple tissue layers. We will see what are the tissue layers which the uterus possesses. Okay, so uterus wall it is made up of three tissue layers. One is perimetrium, the next is myometrium, and the third one is endometrium. We will see what is perimetrium. This outer thin layer, okay, you can identify. Okay, this outer thin external layer we call it as a perimetrium. So always the outer layer we call it as a perimetrium. Okay. Next to the perimetrium, you have a myometrium. which is nothing but a middle layer, and it is not as thick as perimetrium. It is a thick layer. Myometrium is a middle and it is also a very thick layer. This myometrium, now it is made up of smooth muscles here. So what happens is that this smooth muscle, it gives the capacity to the myometrium to withstand or tolerate strong contraction, which is essential for the delivery of the baby. Okay, during the delivery of the baby, uterus will undergo very strong contraction here. So to withstand strong contraction, the uterus it will undergo strong contraction. So to get or to tolerate those strong contractions, this myometrium will help it out in the uterus to undergo these changes, because it is made up of a muscular layer or it is made up of muscle, either way. Next, the innermost layer, we call it as an endometrium. So this endometrium, it lines the uterine cavity. You could see, okay, this is the uterine cavity. Cavity always means you get it as an empty space. So this endometrium, it lines the uterine cavity here. So of course in this cavity only the embryo, it will be developing into the fetus. Yes, isn't it? Okay, any cavity. So this cavity, it possesses the embryo where it could be developed into the fetus. So the lining which lines the cavity, we call it as an endometrium. And you assume that this endometrium, it is not like a permanent layer. It undergoes certain changes during every menstrual cycle. To be certain specific, it will be shedding off and it will be just reforming during every menstrual cycle. That is the characteristics of endometrium. So that is what it has been mentioned. It undergoes periodic changes during the menstrual cycle. So these are the uterus wall. So as I said, uterus wall, it is made up of 3 tissue layers. One is perimetrium, myometrium and endometrium. Next we see a little about cervix. Okay, already I said uterus, it will lead to this, the uterus portion. Uterus will lead to the next portion called as vagina through or via called the cervix region. And this cervix, it will have a narrow cavity. Okay, the cervix will have a narrow cavity, and this cavity, we call it as a cervical canal. So the cervix will have a narrow space. That space we call it as a cervical canal. Okay, next we will just start with the vagina. Okay, the final part of the female accessory duct, we call it as a vagina. Vagina is said to be an elastic muscular canal, and it is said to be very flexible, and it provides lubrication during the sexual intercourse, and this is the place of the female reproductive system where the penis will be received here. So vagina, as I said, it is said to be an elastic muscular canal, and this is the part of the female reproductive system which receives the penis during the sexual intercourse. And this vagina, it will connect the uterus to the vulva. Vulva is nothing but the external female genitalia. So vagina is the one which connects the uterus and the external portion of the female reproductive system. And this vagina, the most important thing is that it will act as a birth canal. What do you mean by birth canal? Means this cervical canal along with the vagina together, it forms a birth canal here. I repeat, cervical canal along with the vagina, it forms a birth canal. Why do you say it as a birth canal? Is it because through this vagina only the delivery of the fetus takes place, or the birth of the fetus takes place. So only it is called as vagina. Through this only the fetus is thrown outside of the body. So we call the vagina as a birth canal. Apart from fetus delivery, through this only the menstrual flow also happens. So it acts as a outway for both the fetus and as well as for the menstrual flow. So this is about the vagina. So we just saw about the female accessory ducts in detail. So next video we'll just go on with the next part of the female reproductive system, that is nothing but the female external genitalia. I hope you understand the concept and like the video.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.